It's Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. A few things I want to talk about very quickly, and then I'm going to roll some clips where Sid and I walked a couple car lots yesterday, an RV lot, and just really going to show you what's happening to the real US economy. As today, markets across the board were getting absolutely demolished this morning. Dow Jones was down over 700 points. As I make this video, NASDAQ is up and the Dow Jones only down 299. So they're gonna try and do another magic trick today and try to stop the bleeding in these markets. But I was reading some articles earlier today, watching some of the business channels, and they're saying, well, the markets are down because of recession fears. Well, where in the world have the markets been? We've been talking about recession now heavily for the last 6 months. We're already in a recession, and now the markets are just beginning to worry about it, and that's the reason they're down today. Although they are trying to do the same old tricks today. They've got NASDAQ up, and they're trying to get the Dow Jones up as I make this video. But stay tuned. Watch the rest of this video as Sid and I go out, walk a couple car lots, walk the RV lot, and see what's really happening. And just speaking really quickly about the RV market, it is a complete mess. The RV lots are piling up. And we're watching, and we have watched banks who lend on these RVs and on these fifth wheelers, making more risky loans, lending over the collateral value of these vehicles, of the RVs, of the campers, of the fifth wheelers, of the toy boxes. How many buyers overpaid for these toys? And how much did they overpay, and how much did banks overlend on these vehicles? And you can finance these vehicles for 10 to 15 years. Think about how many people pulled money out of their homes, how many people just got deeper into debt to buy these toys. Another article this morning from CNBC: luxury car buyers shout more than ever with car payments that look more like mortgage payments. The last Fed rate hike of 75 basis points is affecting what you pay now for a vehicle, because if you're taking out a loan to buy a vehicle, the cost to borrow money continues to go up, and we're going to get another rate hike this month, July 27th, and that is going to affect the auto market and how much you have to pay to borrow money to buy a vehicle. Average annual percentage rate on a new car hit 5% for the first time since the beginning of 2020. And in this article, they take an example that if you were paying 4% on a $40,000 vehicle, now you're paying 5%. That adds $1,324 more of interest payment on that purchase over the course of 72 months. So that's adding another $1,324 that you're going to have to pay over that 72-month period while you finance that vehicle. And I'll close with this before we go to the next part of this video. Another crypto lender, Vault, pauses withdrawals as market crash takes its toll. If you're sitting in front of a screen all day watching cryptos to see if you're getting rich, you got big trouble. And there's so many people who sit in front of a screen all day watching cryptos, hoping, praying that they're going to get rich. These people are not investors, they're straight up gamblers, and most of these people are going to lose. Most have already lost. It says here that they're exploring restructuring options. Yes, Vault is exploring restructuring options while you can't get your money out of your Vault account. While they lock down your account, you can't get your money out while they're trying to restructure. I hope if you're involved, I hope that you at some point will be able to withdraw your money and get it back. Again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So they're trying to perform CPR on these markets today. They're trying to perform another miracle. It doesn't even matter, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for the rest of this video. Take a look at what's happening to the real economy, what's happening to the auto market, what's happening to the RV market. Take a look at what's really happening. The markets don't even matter. This economy is dead on arrival. So it's an absolutely beautiful 95 degrees here, 4th of July, and I hope everybody out there is having an incredible 4th of July. I'm here with my good buddy Sid. Sid, what's up?
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today?
So we had a couple hours before we start the festivities this evening to just get out, shoot a little bit of video today. It's beautiful, it's not busy out, so we thought we'd start here. This is a brand new Kia car dealership, and they finished this dealership about a month ago. And look at the inventory. There's about 20 cars, new Kias here in inventory, and as I said, they finished this dealership about a month ago, and Sid made a point.
You know, if there's nothing to sell, how do the bills get paid? You know, this is going to be a problem, and when people aren't selling, they ain't making money. You know, this is going to be an avalanche of things to come.
So multi-millions of dollars spent on this dealership, and now they not get cars because they don't have chips. So this should be filled with brand new cars, and it's a complete ghost town. Very, very small number of cars on the lot here. It has not opened yet, but again, finished a month ago. They got about 20 cars. So we're just going to drive around a little bit today, see what's happening in the economy while we have a little bit of time. And please comment down below. Let me know what's happening in your areas, what's happening in your local economy. What do you see happening at the car lots? I will say at some of the other dealerships down the road, you are seeing more used cars hitting the lot, and we're beginning to see used car prices come down a bit, but still the same issue with new cars. No chips, no new cars. And the average new car payment, $712. Sid, without elaborating too much, but $712 is the average new car payment. How in the world are people surviving, paying their mortgage or their rent, paying for food, paying for gas, when the average new car payment is $712?
Well, you know, people will be definitely priced out at those prices. They will not be able to afford to buy a vehicle, or a new vehicle, especially because of the taxes, especially here in the state of California, just to get the registration, you know, you're looking at a couple $1,000. You know, this is insane what we are.
If you have a $712 car payment right now, on top of everything else, what people are going to have to pay to eat, put gas in the car, pay utilities, pay for everything.
Inflation is eating everything right now. Right. You know, you go to the grocery store, you guys see what's going on with the prices. It's getting out of hand. You know, especially with the car situation, we got chip shortages where these vehicles are being made and there's no microchips to put in them so they can be sold. So that's going to be a huge problem.
Who's going to buy them at these prices?
And, you know, people aren't making the type of money to be able to afford to buy a new car.
Like I said yesterday, I mean, this would be like your parents' mortgage back in the day when they bought maybe their first house, $712 a month. I mean, that's a mortgage payment back in the day. So I don't know how people are going to continue to do this at these type of prices while everything else continues to go up in price. $712 to drive around in a new car today on average. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I can't figure it out. I can't make any sense of it, ladies and gentlemen, how people are doing it. But we'll continue today. Stay tuned, and we'll see what's happening in at least our local economy here in Coachella Valley. But it is not looking good. Real quick, we're just going to walk over, and now we're at the Toyota lot. Look how dead this thing is. And all these vehicles are used. These are all used vehicles on the Toyota lot. There are no new Toyotas here. Sid.
You know, this is what happens when the economy is not doing well, and you're seeing firsthand the car lots, all the issues they're having. No inventory, first off. So all these places will not be able to afford to pay their bills.
How are they paying the bills?
This is insane.
I mean, these are multi-million-dollar dealerships. They got light bills, air conditioning, salespeople. How in the world is this taking place?
You know, this is an avalanche of things that are occurring right now, and the auto market is definitely taking the first blow.
Yeah, I mean, there is no doubt when you look at this stuff, something is severely broken, ladies and gentlemen. You know as well as I know, something is not right. Something's very wrong. Just the whole economy is not functioning like a normal economy. Things are severely disrupted, severely broken. I mean, this has been going on for what, over a year now, where these lots are empty. And yes, they are getting more used cars, and that's a good sign. But how many people now are having to sell their cars just to save their homes, pay their bills, and they're having to maybe get rid of a second or third car? They don't want to, but they have to. And a lot of people are just forced now to sell. And that's my concern in the housing market, that we're going to see people not want to sell their homes. So they're going to be forced to sell their homes because they need to eat, they need to pay bills, they need to survive. And they're going to be put in a very precarious position of where they're going to have to make some huge financial decisions. And one of those is going to be selling the cars, selling the toys, and then selling the house.
One thing I wanted to bring up to everyone is that, there is mass layoffs happening right now. People are losing jobs left and right. And, this is going to affect the auto market. Why is it going to affect it? Because people are getting their cars repossessed. You see these repossessors out in shopping malls, and they're picking up people's cars because they cannot afford to pay that car note anymore. And, this is called being broke in America, where, it's becoming more common, and it's going to be a sea full of repossessed cars.
So that's a great point. And what happens to the average American when they lose their car? They can't get to work. They can't get to the grocery store. They're in big trouble.
Oh, yeah. You're going to see major problems in this market. This repossessed car market is going to get so full because people are losing jobs and they cannot afford it no longer with inflation.
That's an excellent point that Sid just made. And this is why I think we're going to see an area of this economy where we're going to see a lot of deflation. And that's when you begin to see these car lots fill up with more used cars. And at some point, new cars are going to come in. They will get the chip situation straightened out. But when that happens, who's going to be able to afford to buy these cars? But as Sid said, in the meantime, we're going to see a flood of repos taking place. And that means that those cars have to be sold. Those cars are going to come to market. If you have cash, if you have really good credit, you're going to capitalize on somebody's losses. And unfortunately, people are going to take major losses. But if you've been saving your pennies, saving your dollars, you haven't been out spending, you're going to be able to take advantage of this deflationary period and come across some very good opportunities. And a lot of those opportunities are going to be
good sales.
Yeah, a lot of those opportunities are going to be in the auto market, no doubt about it. Yeah, I see a lot of repo trucks driving around with the hooks. And just think of how many people now are behind on an auto payment, 30, 60, 90 plus days. How many of these people back in the day took those stimmies and went out and bought a Charger or a Challenger? Now, no job, $7 a gallon gas. They're in big trouble. And the repo man's looking for them. And it's just an unfortunate event or a situation that's taking place. But the repo man is out there looking, and they're extremely busy. People that I know who have friends in the repo business tell me constantly that these guys are working 7 days a week around the clock. They've never repoed so many cars. And this is just the beginning. Remember, this is just the beginning. I saw a couple car salesmen come out over the door there, probably thought we were here to buy a car. They probably haven't seen a human being on that lot for days. So I hope we didn't get their hopes up.
It's a very sad situation, a very dire situation that we are witnessing. These cars can be, these car lots can be full of cars, but who knows if these cars are even operable.
Yeah, they're going to be, when I shot the video last week at Ford, Wilson said they're going to be bringing cars in without chips. So parts of the car, maybe the electric seats, maybe the air conditioning, maybe the GPS will not work because they don't have the chip for that car. So you're going to buy a car that all the options aren't even working, yet you'll be probably paying full price. I think a lot of these dealerships better be very careful, and possibly will be on borrowed time. They have been, just think about how they've really taken advantage of the buyers And at some point, maybe the automakers will just get rid of the dealers and you'll just order a car online and the dealers will just be here to service vehicles and that's it.
And you're also paying a lot more of your dollar is paying for a lot less of a car. And that is because of this situation that is happening here in the
So you're paying more,
States.
getting less.
Exactly. You're not getting much of a car, but you're getting a bigger, higher bill.
Yeah, and that goes for anything. You go out to dinner, you're going to pay more, get less. I mean, that's really the shrinkflation that we're seeing. So yeah, they're able to sell cars that are 5 years old, and they're selling 5 years old for more than a brand new car, right? So you say you go out and you buy a 5-year-old Sentra, you may pay more for a 5-year-old Sentra now at one of these dealerships than you would for a brand new one, but they can't get brand new ones. So, I mean, it's just really crazy. We've never seen anything like it. So we're gonna mosey on down the road here, see what we can find. It's just another interesting day in the real world. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that get triggered with these videos because they like to just sit on the couch, sit in their bubble, pretend that they're in fantasy land. But this is the real world. Happy July 4th. It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday. We're going to see what's going on. So we just drove about a quarter mile down the road and we came to this RV dealership, and this place is packed with RVs. And I've been hearing a lot about what's happening in the RV market, fifth wheelers, Elkhart, Indiana, where they make all those fifth wheelers and campers, laying off hundreds of people. This is going to be a big problem. I mean, these vehicles run gas or diesel, and at $6, $7 a gallon, look at the size of these things. I don't know, 8 to 10 miles per gallon maybe. A lot of people are not buying these type of vehicles now because of the price to operate them and drive them. And so over the last few months, I've seen these lots, fifth wheelers, RVs, campers, they're piling up again. And people just don't have the money like they used to take these trips.
Definitely not.
And a lot of times you'll see these things parked at hotels off the road. A lot of people will drive them, and as they're traveling, they don't sleep in them. They'll stay at a hotel till they get to a campsite. And the hotels now are $200-300 a night, and $6-7 for a gallon of gas. The maintenance, the upkeep. I mean, it's a beautiful unit right there.
You cannot fit another RV on this lot,
Yeah.
People aren't willing to buy these because look at this gas price that is happening right now. Look at the inflation, the food costs.
And how many people have just lost their butt in the stock market now? They're just not going to go out and spend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 plus on one of these vehicles. They've lost so much money in their 401ks, in their retirement accounts, in their stock market accounts, and they just now, I think, are too concerned about where all this is going, have pulled back the purse strings, and this is just not on the list now. This is a huge investment, and if you've lost 10, 20, 30% in your retirement or in the market, you're probably going to wait it out and see what happens. But when do we begin to see the secondary market, the used market, these things begin to pile up for sale at discounted prices? Even the new vehicles, they're going to have to be moved and sold at some point, and they're going to be heavily discounted in order to do it, because just like housing, there are less and less buyers now who can afford to be in this market.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I get an eerie feeling just walking these RV lots. It's 4th of July. You would expect people to be here shopping,
Yeah.
and you don't see not one person. We're the only ones out here.
Yeah, that's a great point. Usually on a holiday weekend, you'd see people at the car lots. That's like when they do the big sales, the big 4th of July sales. I don't see it. There are no sales. Things are just sitting. I mean, just look at this. And Sid's right.
And then across the street here, we got another lot that's just absolutely full of more campers and RVs.
And Sid's right. You cannot really literally squeeze another camper on the lot. Now, let's take a look over here.
I mean, don't get us wrong. These are beautiful, absolutely beautiful travel homes that you know, if you have the means to be able to afford something like this,
Well,
I mean,
look at this.
these are gorgeous.
I mean, as far as the eye can see, there's literally probably 12 fifth wheelers stacked all the way down there, minimal. I mean, and another row over there. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of inventory that is piling up. And then when we go across the street, there's a whole bunch more all lined up.
Everything's for sale. These are very nice looking.
Wow. We'll just walk over here real quick. So now, yeah, this is all RVs down here. Wow. And we do have a sale here. Let's take a look. Was 58, now 51. And it's probably been sitting here for a long time, meaning that it's going to have to go lower. It's going to have to go much, much lower. But this, yeah, so we have a mix here. Some are new, some are used. Is this a different dealer?
I believe it's the same one.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right. All right. So same dealer. So this is really a bunch of overflow with some of the smaller campers. They got a few RVs, a few used units over here. So this kind of looks like where they put the overflow of smaller units and used units. Maybe it's piled up, no doubt about it.
But it definitely, the gas price has affected this market. And, you know, Holland RV Centers has always been busy, you know, for a holiday. I can't believe not one person. We're the only ones here, and we're just filming.
Yeah, they're just closed. So think about that. I mean, it is 4th of July, I get it. But man, back in the day when I was a kid, everything was open. People were selling RVs, they were selling cars. Everything was open. It was a big holiday. And all these places used to be open. But you know now, it's so hard to get people to work. I'm sure they're running lean on employees. Nobody wants to work. But I'm sure it's a great dealership. Have no idea. I'm not in the market to buy an RV. Have no plans. But I'm sure they're good people, and we wish no ill will. We really hope that they thrive. I mean, we want to see the economy thrive. Nice little van unit right there. Yeah, it's probably a used. Yeah, this is
different.
Yeah, these are used right here.
Some have plates already.
Yeah, yeah, these are all used. All used. So how many people now are turning these vehicles in because they just cannot afford to operate them, cannot afford to take care of maintenance, put fuel in them? I mean, the world's changing, ladies and gentlemen. The world is definitely changing. And I can tell you right now, this would be one of the last things I would buy unless I was planning on living in it, which is another whole topic. A lot of people writing to me, my friend Mike in Alabama telling me that a lot of people are now permanently living in fifth wheelers, parking them at some of these parks and living as cheap as they can, which, hey, that's a great idea. And if you can do it, it sounds like a plan, at least to get through this economic storm. But a lot of people now are selling their homes and they're downsizing to things like this. It's just an incredible time. Sid.
Oh, absolutely. You hit it on the nose. You know, I have a friend that was talking about selling his home and just living in his RV. And, you know, that's a true story. And he's traveling right now. He's maybe in South Dakota and he's making his way back to California. But he gets out of the heat, you know, here in the desert where, you know, we hit 150 degrees every summer. And he's enjoying the weather somewhere for, you know, 60 degrees at night. So, you know, this is the time we're in, you know, where people will sell a home to go live in a camper or an RV.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people doing that. But as the housing market slows down, as people figure out that they've put their house up on the market too late, as people have borrowed so much money out of their homes, it's going to be very, very hard to get out. And this, to me, is just a reflection of a very slowing economy where these very expensive RVs now are sitting, the higher end vehicles sitting, and we're seeing more campers piled up. And that just tells me there's less people now who have the ability, whether they're rich or middle class, who have the ability now to come in and buy these things because they've taken huge hits in the market, huge hits in the cryptos, and now they're realizing that they're about to take a huge hit on their home.